the champ of the mic owns the night. With a mind so slick and a suit so clean, he's running this ring like a wrestling machine. From gold-plated deals to jaw-dropping schemes, he's the mastermind of your wildest dreams. Stand up, take note, bow down if you can. It's the Brilliant Show with the Brilliant One. He's the man.
Welcome into the Brilliant Show. We're about to get started. We got a special guest, Braxton Hunter, who's going to be here in just a minute, so just hang in there real tight. We're going to get to him. Before we do, as always, make sure you check out Mark Out Moments on YouTube and subscribe to Talking Wrestling with Palmwater Dave and Amy. Great show to check out. And also, go check us out at brainbustertees.com and pick up the Brilliant Show t-shirt. You're not going to want to miss it. Go get it. And also, remember to subscribe to us on Facebook. It's 99 cents a month, and each and every month you get a chance to win free merchandise. And next Monday, we're going to be giving away 2 things of merchandise on Monday night to 2 lucky subscribers. So make sure you tune in for that next week. Hit that subscribe button on the Facebook. It is worth it for 99 cents, less than $12 a year. What's up, Stephen Dixon? All right, without further ado, let's try to see if we got our technical difficulties worked out. Let's bring in Reimagined Braxton Hunter. What's going on, Braxton?
Hey, what's up, dude?
Not much,
Sounding
man.
good on this end? Not yet?
Yeah, everything looks good now.
Good, good.
So what's going on? How are you tonight?
A little warm. But other than that, all good, man. All good. Just doing things. How about you?
Oh, I'm doing great. Where are you at right now?
Right now, I am currently coming at you live from the Louisiana Wrestling Alliance Training Center in Lafayette, Louisiana.
And we've been hearing a lot of good things about Louisiana Wrestling Alliance training facility, how good it's been. Hunter Law down that way, or Hunter Law down that way, and Hunter Law and everything. But Braxton, you was on the original podcast, King Wrestling podcast, back in the day. What's going on with Humpty Dumpty? How are you tonight? Man, let's get started. How did you fall in love with wrestling? Like, when did you first find that passion for wrestling?
Man, mine's a weird one. I kind of found that passion for wrestling watching like old highlight videos of Jeff Hardy on like MySpace and stuff like that. I'd seen it beforehand, but like watching those, like, you know, in the end, it doesn't even matter, doing like the crazy swatons from like the top of the scaffoldings or like the match of the Undertaker and stuff like that. It's mesmerizing almost.
So Jeff Hardy was one of your guys then, huh?
Oh, he is my number one guy. Jeff Hardy can do no wrong in my book. I know the things and the stuff. But Victory Road 2011, it was a work. You guys got work.
Oh, when he was out there with Sting?
Yeah, total work. Total work. It was one of the best storylines they ever did. It was so he could have his redemption arc.
I'm not even going to act like I saw it because I didn't. But
great match. 5 stars. Highly recommend. Storytelling, top tier. Yeah, I'd recommend watching it.
Well, I'm gonna have to go check it out. I know it wasn't but 5 minutes long or something.
5-minute banger.
But anyway, Stephen, so that's how you found your love for it. And where did you go and start deciding to train? Hi, Adam Levine, says Matthew Holland.
Guys, stop talking in the comments. I'm talking here.
Yeah.
So my original training facility, if you will, was a barn / farm area in between Brobridge and Lafayette, Louisiana. Rodney Mack and Jazz were the head trainers, And Rhett the Threat was also one of the other trainers there. So I kind of trained there for a couple of months. Learned basically all the basics, and would also sneak back over there after they left because this is an open barn with a really nice wrestling ring in it. So me and the guys that I started with, we would sneak back over there after we kind of knew they were gone and just hop back in and start wrestling. So yeah, the official training took place by like Rodney and Jazz and Rhett and those guys, but learning the work, brother, that came after class.
So you were sneaking in the barn and having some fun after everybody had left.
Hey, don't all teenagers?
That is true. Now, hey, was you going in there and doing moonsaults and just crazy dives and stuff?
Look, man, I don't flip backwards. I flip forward. But no, I was so scared of the top rope at that point in my life. Like, I would get up there and, like, legs are shaking. Like, it was, yeah, no, it was a lot of ground based stuff at that point.
Oh,
It
so you were
wasn't
just getting in there and
until,
chilling out.
oh, yeah, look, I was in there working, all right? I was in there working like the vets say. I was doing it right. And then I kind of coasted over to Elevate Pro once that kind of fizzled out, and that's where I kind of got a little more confidence. So like I actually like had my first couple of matches and stuff like that. Got more confident on the top rope, like stopped shaking, developed the my pretty swanton that is now retired, um, and yeah, from Elevate it was just kind of gangbusters, just on the road once I had a falling out with Elevate. It was just back to learning on the road from the vets in the locker room, uh, stuff like that. Just doing the
Hey,
thing,
Crystal
just getting after
Morrison.
it.
I know Braxton for years says Lenore Lynn, Matthew Holland, Grandma Betty. So
Oh, man.
you also was during the Elevate stuff right after that. You were starting to go over to Revolt as well, wasn't you?
Yeah, I was at Revolt for a while. I want to say it was like 2 or 3 years from when I started until they honestly until they closed up shop for good. I was there regularly for about 2 or 3 years. I was kind of the first Gulf Coast champion over there, um, and then just kind of branching out and stuff. I wasn't there as often, but I would still go pretty frequently, and I was on kind of one of their last one or two shows that they had like this past year.
Yeah, okay. So when did you find your way into 225 after that? Like when was your first match like in 225?
So my first match in 225. What was that? Okay, yeah. So my first match in 225.
Uh-oh, Braxton went out. He cut out, so hold on just a moment. What's up, JD the Kraken? What are you doing tomorrow night, man? You want to come join me? Let me see if Braxton gets back in here. We're having some technical difficulties here. Hey, Crystal Morrison, Lenora Lynn. I don't know what's going on with that. Here he is. He's back. Let's see if we can get this worked out. Oh man, I don't know what's going on. It's just
My mom called.
okay. Had to decline the call,
I declined that call so fast. um, so what was it? 225 first match.
Yeah.
Thanks, mom. First match at 225 was a couple of months after the Elevate falling out, right before COVID hit. I remember I just got off the Jericho cruise and I was really sick. Luckily, it was the Super Gold Rumble in 2020. They were bringing in Brandon and I, who were teaming as 337. We were going to have kind of this tag feud series kind of dream match deal with the Overboys at the time, because it was like in Louisiana, the two like biggest tag teams at the time were 337 and the Overboys. Um, so we're gonna have this whole tag deal with them. We get in the Rumble, they get in the Rumble. We got this big moment, and it was supposed to be supposed to be gangbusters from there, but other people had other plans.
So you was on Jericho's cruise?
I was. I'm actually a two-time Chris Jericho Rock and Wrestling Rager at Sea 24/7 champion.
Look at that. What was that cruise like? What was it like watching a wrestling show on a cruise ship?
I don't remember. I don't remember. Those are my partying days, Brandon. I'm a changed man now, but those were.
I wouldn't remember them either. I'm sure.
Look, man, I was a broke like 21-year-old, and with the suites that we got, they gave us a free bottle of champagne every morning for everyone in the room, but only one person was drinking it.
And you was enjoying that champagne, wasn't you?
It was disgusting, but it got me drunk.
Well, yeah, champagne is disgusting, but I mean, it's good.
It gets the job done, or it did.
Frankie Thomas, I know this guy. I hope you know him, Frankie.
Uh-oh.
Well, I'm just going to go ahead and break some news. The NBA draft's tonight, and they just did the number one pick. And surprise, surprise, the Mavericks choose Cooper Flag.
So why wouldn't they pick Cooper Flag?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I figured that's where it was going.
I mean,
Did they have IPAs on the cruise?
I would imagine. I don't remember much of it.
I'm sure they did, but
Hey, Jace. Hey, Gables.
hey, Jace was trying to. Hey, of course, Brandon ignored my comment. I didn't ignore your comment. Braxton was talking. I didn't want to interrupt him while he was talking. I will go back to it now, Jace. Stop crying. Hi, Daddy
Jace,
Brax.
Don't interrupt people while they're talking.
Thank you. You got to keep these kids in line, man. Got to keep them in line.
It's a struggle.
It's too much work. Let me ask you this, and if you don't want to talk about what you got to talk about, but what was the falling out with you and Elevate at the time?
Man, it was just I had an injury. Like I got like 2 concussions back to back, and we had a very it was like their WrestleMania, and I was out of training. I wasn't wrestling. I was basically like healing up to like be on this show, and like certain things just rubbed me the wrong way, like the way people would talk in like group chats to like almost talking down to like rookies or like trainees and stuff like that. And one day it just kind of someone said something in the group chat. Someone in like a position of power said something in the group chat that was directed to everyone, and I just like lost it that day. And I was like, yo, like, like, stop coming at people like this. Everybody's like doing their best to help out, like, blah blah blah. And it just kind of built from there. All of a sudden I became a disrespectful piece of shit, and like I'm just the worst person in the world for being like the one guy that like stood up to this person, and just kind of snowballed from like me just standing up to this dude. And like we were good now, like everything's fine, like we like it's all water under the bridge, but it was just nonsense basically.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it is. How long have you been wrestling from Steven Dixon, or how long had you wrestled there? I'm guessing the Elevate Pro is what he's meaning.
Elevate, I was there for 3 years. Uh, yeah, from 2017 to it was the very end of 2019. Yeah, so about 2.5, 3 years, somewhere around that area. I'm not a mathematician.
Now you was there when Pentagon come through, then was you?
I got there right after that show.
Okay. But you, Sir Pinico, you was there with around him a little bit, right?
Yeah, a good bit. I wrestled him for the title um, at I think it was the second Ultimate Valor show, which was like their WrestleMania show. Um, yeah, I wrestled Sir Pinico there. Did like some big battle royal. They didn't tell me I was winning the battle royal, and then yeah, went on to wrestle him, which was a great experience. Like he is probably one of the smartest people that I've had the privilege of like learning from in the business. Just like the way he breaks down things and kind of simplifies like drills and just explanations of different things to like really make your students understand. I mean, he was the trainer at the 3D Academy for a reason.
Yeah, he's went on to do AEW and stuff like that,
Absolutely.
which is pretty cool and awesome to do. And speaking of some of that stuff, why don't we just go ahead and dive into it real quick? I know you did some stuff with TNA. You
Yeah.
got through a round, then you got a match on. I believe you got a match on TNA, right? And then you've been doing some
Yeah.
stuff with Ring of Honor. Tell me about the TNA experience a little bit.
So TNA was cool. It was a good experience. One of those like you get in the locker room and it's like, oh, this was not at all what I was expecting. Um, and yeah, I got thrown around a little bit because I'm not a good timekeeper. Apparently, I did my best. Apparently, there's a cadence to this, and I've never been like musically inclined, so I don't know why they'd give me a hammer and a bell anyway. So yeah, Khan came, grabbed me. He was only supposed to throw me once, but footing got a little messed up, and I kind of just tumbled. But the second time he grabbed me, I did the old Braxton Hunter thing, and I hit that jump, spread out, flipped at the last second. I may or may not have hit my head and got a concussion. Um, but that moment, getting thrown that second time, I come back through the curtain. Like they kind of referees pick me up, bring me back, all that. And Tommy Dreamer himself like stops me as I'm right there. He's like, "Oh my God, hey, are you okay? That was insane." And then he looked over to the other guy's name escapes me. He's like the second, like he's basically like the right hand man to Tommy Dreamer.
It ain't
He
Jimmy
looks over,
Jacobs, wasn't it?
not Jimmy Jacobs, bald headed dude. I don't know why I can't remember his name. Anyways, he looks over at this guy and like right in front of me goes, "That was insane. We got to pay him cash tonight." And then he looks back at me and says, "Are you gonna be here tomorrow?" Yeah, he goes, "Good, be here." I was like, "Okay." Like, I'm kind of like walking a little tall after this. Like, all right, look, good. All right, I'll be here tomorrow, Tommy. I'm gonna have my pen waiting. And also, this entire weekend, I'm actually driving around Kushida as well. So I walk back there and oh look, we got Mac Johnson joining
What's
us.
going on, Johnson?
And he left. He didn't want to be on the show. So I'm driving around Kushida as well. So I'm riding this high, and then I totally forget that I'm driving around Kushida, and he ends up finding me after, and he's like, going back to the hotel? I was like, oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. And then Alex Shelley stops me and he's like, hey dude, like come hang out with us. And Kushida looks at him and says, no, I ride with my friend. Yeah, Alex, don't worry, I got it. uh, so it was cool. Then, bring him back. He talking to me about kind of like New Japan dojo stuff, giving me like good pointers and just good drills to like keep in mind. Um, come back the next day, and there was talk of a few of us who were like clean cut, shaven, all that, being the security team for Mustafa Ali. Um, and a friend of mine at the time, Richard Adonis, was there, kind of doing like some in between stuff. Like he was wrestling for them, on their shows, like as like an enhancement guy. And Grizzled Young Vets needed opponents to kind of squash because I think they just lost in the pay per view the night before, so they were getting some momentum back. And yeah, they grabbed Richard and they said, "Hey, you're wrestling. Um, we don't know these guys. Like, you tell us who's good and who you want to tag with." And first person's name said was Braxton. And Tommy Dreamer goes, "Who's that?" And he points over to me. And then Tommy looks, his eyes get wide. He's like, "Oh yeah, he's doing it." And the rest was history. We beat the Grizzled Young Vets in 2 minutes, and don't go on YouTube and watch it because you don't. I mean, I told you guys what happened, so you should just believe that.
Yeah, you should believe it for real. John Saxon says to tell Mac what's up. And
I'll let him know, John. So
Stephen Dixon, to answer your question, I'll go ahead and answer this. He don't have to. Way too many, apparently.
too many, man. Too many. Two that I know of, like two official that I know of.
Man, you've already talked about 10 concussions since you've been here.
Those
so
are.
I don't know what you're talking about, too.
Those are like maybe they might have just been headaches,
Well, I've been a headache.
Everything's a concussion.
Well, that's true too. Now, you did some stuff with Ring of Honor. How did that come about? Because I know wasn't like AEW in New Orleans or something when that all happened.
So one time New Orleans, yeah. The most recent one was New Orleans, and the first time I worked with them was in Bossier City, just like up in Shreveport, kind of near like Texas, Arkansas area. So that came about just it was kind of random the first time. Honestly, I was hanging out at work one day and randomly pick up my phone and I see an email from like the AEW, like the guy that's in charge of like extra talent and all that. So just that invite basically. And I thought it was like spam at first, so I kind of open it up and read through it. I'm like, oh wait, they're kind of asking for a lot of information that I don't think scammers would really ask for. So I kind of filled it out, and it was one of those like, fill this out, let us know if you're available. If so, you'll get an email in like 2 weeks, and we'll let you know if like you're confirmed for it or not. So filled it out, sent it off. Didn't really think too much of it until I actually got the second email. I was like, okay, this is legit. So went over and got dressed in my best little suit, looking all fancy. Drove up to Bossier City and got back there, and not in like a not to be taken in like a negative way, but it was such a different and like almost better vibe than when I had like done like extra stuff with WWE. It was like so much more calm. Like they were like, "Hey, hang out wherever, do whatever, just like kind of be available if we need you. But like other than that, just have a good time. We don't know what's gonna happen. We don't know if we're gonna need anyone, and nothing like that. So just hang out and have a good time until we need you or don't need you. Um, so kind of hanging around in like the talent viewing area, and the original thing I was supposed to do, which would have been fun, didn't happen. um, Something happened with Dalton Castle's boys. Uh, Maybe they missed a flight or they didn't get on their flight or something like that. Whatever happened, they weren't there. And as the person's telling Dalton Castle this, I like turn and we lock eyes. And his eyes do not leave mine as he just like stops talking to this person, walks all the way around the chairs, and like kneels down in front of me and is like, "What are you doing tonight?" And I was like, "Oh." It's like, "I want you to be a baby chicken." I was like, "Okay." And then he just like gave me like a hug and was like, "Thank you so much." And they just left, disappeared for like 3 hours. So I'm just sitting here, I'm like, I have no idea what to do. Like, no one told me anything about costumes or nothing like that. So they tell us to go in the locker room, like the actual talent locker room, which is crazy. Um, and I end up seeing him in there, and he grabs me again, and he has Jack Cartwheel with him. And he walks up to the producer, and he's like, "Hey, these are my boys." And then they just were like, "All right." Toss us the little boys' outfits with the blue sparkly bottoms with the little masquerade mask and the feathers and all that. And they're like, "Yeah, suit up. I am going to look ridiculous in this, but screw it." So we actually go out and we rehearse this entrance and all that. We figure out all our mannerisms and all the things we need to do. And it was a pretty fun experience. Then I get to the back, and one of the producers, who I'm friends with, he walks past and like in a joking sense, like he said it jokingly, but he goes, "Hey man, you want to tag later?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, sure, man." And he goes, "All right, after the show." I was like, get it? Because like the crowd leaves and like they're taking the ring down, so we'll tag after the show. Um, so I'm in the boys' outfit about 20, 30 minutes, and then he comes back and he's like, "Hey, so yeah, we're gonna tag later after the show, Ring of Honor. Um, it'll probably be you and me versus like these two guys. So like just stay in that for now." So, okay. And at this point, it's like 5:30, and I think the show was going to start at 6 because they did some Ring of Honor before, then Collision, and then Ring of Honor after. So it's 5:30 ish. Tells me to stay in that. Like, all right, whatever. Just hanging out, ready to do this thing. He comes back 5 minutes later and it's like, "Hey, actually, we're going to do it before. So I need you to go change now. You're not doing the boys thing anymore. We're just going to tag and that's it." Okay, so I go change. A couple minutes later, he comes back in the locker room. "Hey, never mind. They changed it again. So yeah, you could still do the boys thing." I already have my boots all the way laced up, and one thing about me is I hate like laces. Like I hate lacing things. I don't like tying my shoes. So to lace these boots that I have to tie all the way up and then pull each individual string multiple times to make them like as tight as they can be, that's what it was. Anyways, this happens 3 more times. We're doing it before the show. Never mind, we're doing it after the show. Never mind, we're doing it before the show. Okay, after the show. For sure, after the show. Okay. Last minute plan. We're going to do it before the show. We're second. We need you in gear now. I got to the point where I was like, all right, I'm just not going to take off my boots And if I have to do this boys entrance, I'm just gonna have my boots on because I'm just tired of tying them up and untying them. But it ended up being before the show, and that was the uh, me, John Cruz, and KM versus the Iron Savages. So that's my first time there, and it was a crazy experience. Like being in front of like that many people on that kind of stage. Like it
Somebody's saying,
was,
"Hey, hey, baby."
hey baby, hey girl. It was. I always feel like I sound like egotistical or something like that when people
Well,
like
it's because you are. I mean, it's not that you
well, just
sound.
a little bit, just a little bit, but it's like the genuine feeling of like when people are like, oh my god, like how was that? Like the feeling of it, like you had to have been so nervous or like all this. I was like, did you hear about all those wardrobe changes? I didn't have time to be nervous.
Mhm.
And by the time I got out there, it's like the switch was flipped. So it's like there was zero nervousness, and it's just like almost like this calming like comfortability of like, oh yeah, this is, oh, this is what we do. This is it.
Matt
Uh,
Holland, you versus James Storm's beer drinking contest. Now, are you talking about me? Are you making fun of my?
he got to be talking about you because I don't drink. I don't do
Not
alcohol.
unless it's a big bottle of champagne, right?
Not anymore. See, that was like I told you, Brandon. That was the old me, man. Like I'm a changed man these days.
Well, that's a good thing. So, if you can set up the you or me versus James Storm's drinking contest, I'll do it. I mean, I'll lose, but I'll do it. Uh, so
We're rigged
the experience there. Now, what was the experience different in New Orleans than it was in Bossier City?
So New Orleans, otherwise kind of cut out a little bit.
Oh, I said, was New Orleans the experience in New Orleans different from the one in Bossier City?
It was. So New Orleans was different in the sense of I was in the mindset of like I happened once. It's maybe not gonna happen again. If it does, I'll be ready for it. If not, it's fine. Like it's one of those things. Like I don't like to get too excited for things, but I also don't like to shut things off. Um, and I'm also back there, and my girlfriend T Game's with me, and like honestly, I'm just glad like we're sharing this experience of like doing this together. And honestly, in my brain, I'm more like I hope she gets something because like I know it was like a big like it's something she wanted and like openly like expressed it like she wanted and rightfully she deserved it because she is like one of the most talented women wrestlers I've ever seen in my life. So more along the lines of like I wanted her to get that more than me. Um, so backstage, everything's cool. We're just hanging out. Dale Springs came out of retirement for one match and then went back into retirement. But kind of the same vibe though. We're just hanging out before the show, sitting in kind of talent viewing area. They were teaching Will Ospreay how to do the gritty, which was hilarious. Um, and yeah, producer randomly grabs us, says, "Hey, I need you two and you two." It was Russell twins, myself, and Dale. And they're just like, "Hey, you guys gonna have this match? Get ready." And the initial plan, which I would have loved this so much because you know the pillar, right? You know, we touch tips, all
Oh,
right?
yeah.
That's our thing. That's our thing. So there's a group called MXM on AEW that started touching tips. After we started touching tips, we were supposed to wrestle them. It was gonna be me and Dale versus MXM, which you know that's a WrestleMania match, right? The winner gets the tips. Uh, but last minute plans change. We wrestle the frat house. It's a quick match. Of course, we won again. It was another quick dub for us. Easy, just no sweat off our backs. Just a little, enhancement match showcase. Showcase the boys in the area. Um, and yeah, it was fun. And then I come to the back, but I'm still not like I was excited and I was happy, but in my brain I'm still more like, hey, I want her to get this moment that she deserves. So the whole night I'm just sitting there and I do this thing of like, hey, what can they do to like get us on or get her on? So I'm making up like scenarios in my brain as we're like just watching like some of the show go on or watching some of the Ring of Honor matches or the Dynamite matches and all that. It's like, all right, what can they do to like to put my baby on TV? Um, and they randomly come and grab Taylor T. Gaines and one other girl, and yeah, they're like, "Hey, you guys are gonna wrestle." And eventually, plans change, plans change, plans change, and then she ended up getting the spot to wrestle on Collision, and I've never been more happy in like wrestling since in my life than I was at that moment, getting to like watch her. Like no accomplishment that I've ever gotten or ever done really compared to that for me.
And she wrestled on Collision and stuff, right?
She did. She did. She wrestled Anna Jay on Collision,
I
and
like
she
Anna
won.
Jay.
She won. She beat her in 90 seconds.
Wow, 90 seconds?
She beat Anna Jay in 90 seconds. It was crazy. So
That is wild, man. That is
don't
so wild.
don't
Hunter
don't
Hendricks
look
said,
up any of these stats because
no,
you should
dude,
just
don't watch
believe
them.
me.
Just believe.
I'm
Just
t-
believe.
I'm telling you guys, y'all should just believe me.
Hunter Hendricks says you're his dad too. So I mean, how many kids do you have?
Hey man, I got a couple kids. I got a couple kids running around.
Let's see here. Oh, she loves you. So, oh, this is so sweet. This is
I
so
love
sweet.
you too.
T Gaines, we need to get you up on the podcast as well. But let me get to this. All right, Jace, touching the tip she talked about at the pillar. How did you get with this kid, and how do you keep him from giggling all the time?
I don't. That's just him. Uh, he I'd be having a conversation with him in the car, and he's just giggling it up. If look, if giggles were gas, I'd never need to fill up my tank because he's got me covered. Uh, so Jace, yeah, a few years ago, he started training over here. I kind of pop in sporadically. It kind of built up a rapport with him. And then I want to say last year, um, I was hitting the road regularly, traveling a whole bunch, and my thing was like wanting to get the students and like take them other places, get them out there, and really like kind of show them the things that like I was shown when I started. Like Alex Cruz would take me to every show he was on, didn't matter where it was, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, Georgia, like wherever. So I wanted to do that for some of the students. So I would always put in the student group chat like, hey, I'm here. I've got this many spaces in the car. Whoever wants to hop in, feel free. I'll message promoters, see what I can do. If I can get you a spot, I can. If not, still come enjoy the ride, and we'll talk wrestling along the way. And almost every single time, Jace was one of, if not the only one, hopping in the car, traveling all these places. And so we built up a real good friendship just based on that alone. And just his commitment to the craft and his personality. Like, he's hilarious, like just to hang out with and to be around. And like,
He's hilarious, but he's also like he's one of those guys that just soaks up everything.
yeah,
He goes
oh
out
yeah,
there and he applies himself, and
yeah,
he's just he's a great kid. He really is. And I mean, when I say kid, I mean 4-year-old kid. That's what he is.
quite literally, yeah. He turned 5 last week, but he's getting up there in
Yeah.
age. Um, no, yeah, and for being like so young and like as early in his career as he is, like man, like what a wrestler he is for his experience level. It's honestly crazy.
But he's on a different level when it comes to like when we're talking like okay, he's so much he's advanced, and I'm not trying to give him the big head here, but he's a little more advanced than some of the other wrestlers out there,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that have been in the same time he has. And we lost Braxton again. I guess Mama called again. Let me hold on here just so see if we can get him back here. But I think we lost Braxton for a second. But what I'm saying about Jace is Jace has got a bright future. He's got his head on. He's got a good head on his shoulders, and he just needs to keep it there. He does eat oatmeal cream pies the long way, and I guess while he's not in here, we can just talk whatever we want to talk about him. He'll be back in just a second. We're going to get to him. Here he is. He's coming right back in. All right. Mama call again.
It was Mom.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
I said it had to be Mama.
Mom, I'm doing media right now.
Turner got AOL dial. Said, "No, I ain't got AOL dial. I can tell you that. I don't even know if AOL dial exists anymore." But
Oh.
what I was saying is the kid. He's got a good head on his shoulders, and he surrounded himself with good people, and I think they're leading him in the right direction. I think he's headed in the right direction right now.
Absolutely. Braxton Hunter eats oatmeal cream pies the long way. Is there any other way to eat oatmeal cream pie but the long way? I mean, come on.
That's what I was just telling. I said we could talk bad about
Don't get me-
Braxton while you were gone, but
Don't get me all riled up on some oatmeal cream pies, because I will raid a Walmart right now, and I'll buy them all.
also eats peanut butter and jelly the long way too.
Hey, what's wrong with eating peanut butter and jelly the wrong way? The long way. The wrong way. I guess there's no wrong way to eat peanut butter and jelly.
There ain't no wrong way. But Jace has improved every time he gets in the ring. He's always improved. Here's Jarrett McKenzie tuning in. Braxton, I have seen you and Ray Few wrestle since I first started going to shows. Have you two ever wrestled? I can't remember for sure.
We've had like 4 matches total. Only 2 singles matches. One of which is we call them the Lost Files, or I do at least. There was a couple of like Elevate wanted to do these house shows, quote unquote, in their old training center, and he and I wrestled on the first one, and it was probably the best match that Fury and I have ever had with each other. But due to the fallout, we have never seen said footage of this match, so people literally just have to trust us when we say it. It was really good. Then we had one match at AWF, I want to say, and then like some tag at Battlezone.
Oh yeah, I remember the Battlezone tag. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see.
What that referee was trying to on me.
Oh, have you tried the ice cream oatmeal cream pie?
I haven't. I like to leave great things as they are, and like I don't like tarnish anything, so I gotta try anything like that yet. Honestly,
Man.
I also didn't know they had those.
Oh, dude, I've tried it. I'm an oatmeal. I love oatmeal cream pies, and I went to like the
You're an oatmeal
yard.
cream pie guy. Nice.
Yeah. So I went to the yard. It's like this milkshake place. I don't know if you ever heard of it. and I got the oatmeal cream pie milkshake, and it's like this huge ass shake, and it's got a cream pie on the side, all this drizzle, and it was damn good. But now the oatmeal cream pie ice cream is absolutely delicious, absolutely delicious. You have to try it.
I'm gonna have to try it. I'm gonna need
Yeah,
you
I
to
mean, Little Debbie's got ice cream now.
I'm gonna need you to send me the address to that place too. So like just for research purposes, you know.
Yeah.
I hope T Gaines isn't in the chat anymore. I hope she bounced out.
Y'all
Um,
are making me
I,
hungry. Got to go watch. Got to watch what I eat before I get back in the super heavyweight class. Super heavyweight class. Uh,
hey, and chat, can we all be cool and not tell T Gaines that we're talking about oatmeal cream pies or anything? Because like I don't want to get in trouble. So like if we can all just agree to
oh.
everybody be cool. Everybody be cool.
Yeah, she's in the chat.
Yeah, so it's been
What y'all
about
gonna?
4 weeks since I had an oatmeal cream pie. Like I'm doing really good on the I got the gains going, you know. So it's a good AA meeting for oatmeal cream pies. Thank you guys for having me.
Oh man, that's a good one. So yeah, like you did one of the best matches in the history of independent wrestling. It
Me?
was a four-way Iron Man match. What was that like? Going 1 hour with Vladimir Koloff, Wes Warren, and Jordan John there as well.
Brutal. It was brutal.
Hold
Uh,
on, hold on. Before you get into it, Rhett has something to say. Where are you at, fool? He's at the Louisiana Wrestling Alliance training facility.
Not the LWA, Red. Where you at?
But yeah, you can go ahead and tell us this because I mean, let me just say this. First off, it's impressive to pull off an Iron Man match, but to
Yeah.
do it in a four-way is even more impressive. And people have just been talking about it since it happened. Like, I mean, they've just staged this as one of the greatest matches in independent wrestling history. I've seen it, and I will put it there. It's one of the top matches that I've ever seen. But what was your thoughts of being in that match, and how did you feel after the match?
I cried after that match. That was one of the few times I've been that emotional over wrestling that I've legitimately cried. Um, it was such. It felt like such a long buildup of just getting into like arguably the best shape that I'd ever been in to kind of go the distance, go the hour, combined with I had just did Ring of Honor. The week after Ring of Honor, or 2 weeks after Ring of Honor, I did TNA, and then right after that, or it was either before or after. It was like somewhere in that time frame. Like I did Ring of Honor, TNA, Iron Man, and it was just one of those moments of like realization of like, wow, like I kind of like am starting to leave like that mark on like the scene that like I always kind of was like thinking like how am I gonna do this? How am I gonna break out from the pack and like show like I got something different to offer? And after that Iron Man match, like being one of the four guys selected to be in it, I can make an argument for why all three of those other guys deserve that so much more than me. Um, but to be in there with them and to be a part of history, uh, to be the runner up of the match too, and to have like such a good story told throughout it, with me and Jordan doing the big brother little brother kind of story that which isn't even really a story. Like I genuinely consider Jordan Chow like an older brother to me. Um, So getting to let that play out through the match, and then um, Wes and I's never-ending rivalry, and now my rivalry with Koloff, just getting to tell that story in a different way as opposed to like your typical like 10 to 20 minute match. Having all this time, all these combustible elements, and just going out there and like this is an hour long match, so it's not something you can talk about. You just go out there and just do it. Um, and it was it was also one of the moments where like things really clicked to me of like, okay, this is wrestling. This is how wrestling is supposed to be. Like you just go out there, you just do it, you just feel it. And we ended up making something great off of that. It's one of the proudest moments of my career.
Man, definitely. And like you should be proud of that. You should carry that badge with an honor. Jarrett McKenzie said it was one of the best matches he's ever seen, not just on the independent scene, but in any major promotion as well. And you should. You should carry that as a badge of honor because going an hour
Thank you, man.
is that's something impressive in itself right now. So we've jumped into a lot of different
Thank you.
things. We've talked about that. Talk about the law.
Do we have to?
No, we don't.
No, no, no. I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
I know
Um,
you are.
Hunter's cool. Fun, you know, BTS story about Hunter Law. Um, Before Elevate, there was one place I trained at a little bit in between. Hunter Law and I come from the same town. Brandon as well, but obviously they're brothers, so they live in the same house.
I was about to
We come
say
from the
that.
same, yeah, we come from the same hometown, um, and oh, let me give a full BTS. So, um, when I was 17 years old, I had a very tragic kind of thing happen in my life. I won't dive into too much. Some people know. And I ended up having to go and like see a therapist for this whole one visit where I totally like lied because as a 17-year-old, seeing a therapist isn't cool regardless of the situation. But take your mental health seriously, guys. It's very important. Um, so I go see this therapist and she's questioning me about the events and how I'm feeling, and I'm just like not wanting to open up, and like I'm basically telling her everything was fine. So goes on for like 20 minutes, and she's like, "Well, we have a full hour. Like, what do you want to do with your life?" I'm like, "Oh, I want to be a wrestler." And she says, "Oh, really? My friend's son just moved to Florida not too long ago to become a wrestler." And she pulls out her phone, pulls up Twitter, and shows me a picture of some guy in like what was it like? He was like zebra or cheetah print tights and long hair and like these cowboy boots and stuff. That was Hunter Law. Obviously, didn't know who he was yet until fast forward to the training stuff with Rodney had finished up. I was at this other promotion, and something happened, and just mentally, I was like almost ready to give up on my dream of wrestling. Um, I thought that I had trained long enough. I thought I was like ready to just get in there and have my first match, and it just wasn't happening. It wasn't happening. It wasn't happening, and I felt almost like trapped. Um, so I'm at this show, wasn't going to happen again, and mentally I just felt defeated. And I hop in the car, and I'm leaving, and um, my mom had like ended up coming with me to that one because she thought I was gonna have my first match, and I'm not saying a word to her. Um, she kind of feels out the vibes, and then I end up just telling her like, yeah, I think I'm done. Like, I think this isn't gonna happen. Just gonna figure something else out with my life. The very next day, if anybody knows Mama Braxton, she about her kids. She about her kids. This woman was on the phone relentlessly with anybody in reach of Louisiana with a wrestling ring. Like, no, this isn't happening. Like, you're going to live your dream. Turns out, she remembered that she knows Hunter and Brandon's parents. I still have no idea who they are, but she calls Hunter's mom, and Hunter and Brandon had like offered, like basically through their parents to my parents, like, oh well, tell them to just like move with us to Florida. But like as that happened, the Elevate thing opened up, and it's like Elevate. It was almost a safer option because as a 18-year-old kid, I wasn't ready to move. I wasn't financially ready to move, mentally and maturely. Like I probably wouldn't have handled myself that well. So I ended up going with Elevate, but I always kept like that connection with them because I knew like my kind of goal was to bring wrestling to our area and like give back to our people and show like our people because we come from a very small, tight knit community that and not a lot of people like kind of make it out of there or like just kind of sit there. So like kind of knew I wanted to bring them back in some way and try to do something to show like our people like, hey, we can make it out of this. We can do like we can achieve our dreams and just a good message for people there, a good message for the kids, schools and stuff that we performed at. But yeah, I've always had a lot of respect for Hunter. Ever since they didn't know me, I didn't know them, and to offer for me to go and move out to Florida with them, and granted, I obviously didn't take it, but it still meant a lot. I've always thought very highly of him. He's legitimately one of the best professional wrestlers that I know. Um, Again, very smart, very technically sound, and just almost like a genius when it comes to training wrestlers. But also, like wrestling him is just so easy at this point because we click so well, and not a lot of people know that. But we've had some really good matches against each other that'll probably never see the light of day because they were filmed, but the company's defunct now and won't. It's probably not gonna release the footage. But I always thought very highly of him. He can be a dick at times, but I'll let that be what it is.
I've always enjoyed watching Hunter's matches and stuff that I've seen. And Brandon, I was always impressed with Brandon too. I thought Brandon, I don't know if Brandon really gave it that all, and I'm not meaning that in a bad way. I just don't think Brandon ever gave it that all because, I thought he had a lot of potential to do a lot of good things in wrestling. And I think maybe, and I don't know this, I may be speaking out of school here, but maybe his personal life meant a little bit more to him than wrestling. And
Well, yeah, man, and there's there's nothing wrong with that. Brandon was always very talented, but he's a family man through and through,
and there's definitely nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And Brandon's someone like I still consider a good friend. Like I see him from time to time, and it's always good times when I see him. Chat it up. I mess with him about coming back. Look, guys, I'm trying to get 337 back together. I'm trying, but
so you're trying to kick Jay Smiles to the curb?
Well, so my idea would be like, yeah, 337 could come back, but within the Pillar. See, I've got like all these.
See,
I've got
Jace,
all these tag teams
Jace,
going on.
he's trying to kick
See,
you
look.
out. He's
See,
kicking
hold
you out,
no,
Jace.
nope. Hold on. See, I'm kind of like when it comes to tag team wrestling and tag team wrestling only. I don't know if you know this, but I've had like a lot of tag partners. I'm kind of poor. So currently, I'm in 2 tag teams. Measure up. You see me in T Gaines. Greatest intergender tag team of all time. By the way, we're undefeated. So, um, and me and Jace also have a tag team. We're in the pecking order. And then yeah, so like we add Brandon into that. I'm a tag team with all of like the all the members of the Pillar.
Wow.
I think it works.
Well, Willie Buck says that your trainer is going to lose to his favorite wrestler, Ray Fury. Or not your trainer, but Hunter Law is going to lose to Ray Fury.
I've lost my trainer.
Hunter Law.
Oh, Willie, that
Willie
just
Buck.
might be the case, but I'm gonna let them handle that. I'm gonna be like, hey, mine.
Yeah. You going to worry about kicking Jace out and bringing Brandon back. You ain't worried about
I
Hunter.
could I could never kick Jace out. Like if I
No,
could
because,
kick
I mean,
if I could kick one member of the Pillar out, man, it would have to be this one little like chicken thing we had. They're also members of the Pillar, by the way. This one little chicken thing, but it had the nose ripped off, and I didn't like that. Or it's like the beak had the beak ripped off, and it just didn't sit right with me. So I kicked that guy out. I kicked that little chicken out.
oh, okay. I got you.
But I
I got
love
you. All right.
all the other members of the Pillar. I love T Gaines. I love Jace. Like I love the Pillar. The Pillar's fine.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to see Brandon Law make a return as well. And, he was a great talent, and enjoyed watching him. I saw him first time I saw him was at Summerall Slamboree. He took on Dak Savage, and dude, he just impressed me that night with that match, and I just thought he was good. Saw him in a bunch of other stuff after that. That was before y'all became the 337, and then I had him on the old podcast. He was on the King of Wrestling podcast. We had fun with that. The only one I hadn't had is Hunter Law. And I'm going to have to – I mean, it's hard getting a hold to him. I tried to call his secretary 3 times, got put on hold, never got an answer. Never got one answer from Hunter Law. So
he's a
I guess he
self-proclaimed
just
rock
don't want to
star,
talk to
man.
him.
He's a
He
self-proclaimed
rock
rock star.
stars,
So
man. They're always out there. They're always, chilling, and they're not going to answer my call. I can already tell he's not going to answer my call.
always
But
partying and drinking alcohol and do bad stuff.
yes,
See, that's why I like
also,
punk rock more. Kind of punk pop, like emo-ish style. Like we're just calm, like relaxed, and we're just chilling.
Ryan Gale's got one for you because I want to get to something else here in a minute. But Ryan Gale's got something for you. Top 5 on your playlist currently.
So is this top 5 artists? Top 5 songs? Like what are we talking here?
Ryan, what we talking? Top artists, top songs, what? I'm sure he's going to pop in here with a second, and then I got to get to something because there's something that I've been wanting to talk about here. These songs.
Songs? Oh man, that's a difficult one. Let's go Caramel by Sleep Token in the number 1 slot.
Sweet Token.
Sleep Token, man. They're
Man,
so
look,
talented.
dude. Has anybody ever actually seen these people? They're doing wrestling shit.
They are. That's the whole gimmick. That's the whole gimmick. I don't dive into it. I've never Googled, I've never Googled Rey Mysterio without the mask, so I'm not Googling Sleep Token without the mask. I'm just enjoying the ride. Um, let's see. So yeah, Caramel will be number 1. It's so hard for me because I listen to so much music that it's all like, just like at any given moment, my favorite song can change. Uh, so Caramel's number one. Um,
So you're a
Cigarettes by
Miley
Happy
Cyrus
Hour.
guy?
What?
Shook
I'm
says
part
you're
of
a
the
Miley
USA guy.
Cyrus guy.
Maybe if look, man. Maybe if they had like a punk pop cover or something like that, or like a punk ghost pop, something like that. Maybe I don't know. Yeah, Cigarettes by Happy Hour would be second. Players Club by Rappin' Forte, number three. Which is it's a curveball I threw at y'all. Number four.
I think you forgot how to count here.
Wow, I did three. I said one, two, three. A
Oh
referee
no, you
would
said
call the bell
one.
on that one. Uh, man, 44. Uh, let's go old school. I'll do A Prophecy by Asking Alexandria. I was in a band in high school and we covered that song profusely. Yeah, I used to be a screamo guy. Can't do it anymore because my throat be hurting. Um, pause. It's number five. What's number
Do you listen to
five?
Wage War?
Wage War. I've heard a couple of their songs.
I saw them in concert with Breaking Benjamin and Stained, and I thought
Would you?
like I'd never heard of them, and then I hear them and they were really good. No policy says no Diddy.
No. Oh, I got it. Number five would be a song by a band called Too Close to Touch. The song's called Novocaine. Um,
Novocaine.
I, I discovered that band um, a year or two ago. Their lyrics are just always like super emotional, and then come to find out their singer passed away. But like
Whoa.
like his lyrics and like their just the way he puts their music together and like the raw emotion in his voice. Like if anyone's into like that kind of like metalcore style of music, I highly recommend Too Close to Touch. They were an amazing band, but sadly no longer with us. They kind of had like an influence on Bad Omens, how like they kind of make music and stuff. They were friends with that band. And, so yeah, that's my list. Caramel. I already forgot what I said. Oh yeah, Cigarettes by Happy Hour, Players Club by Rapping Forte, A Prophecy, and Novocaine.
All right, before I dive into my question, I do want to get into the sleep token deal real quick, man. Because I mean, like, this is a real gimmick. Like, my wife's a music buff, so she's always listening to stuff. She likes the sleep token stuff, and then she starts showing me like how you
Wait a
cannot
second.
see.
Wait a second. You're married,
Well, that I mean, mail
dude.
order brides are real now.
Dude, congratulations.
But anyway, uh, the tipster. But like with sleep token, like you can't tell what they are, like what they look
Yeah,
like, what color they are, nothing. Like they
yeah.
are completely covered up, and like I have not even seen. What up, King? What up, Big Ramp? Big Ramp's in the house, baby. The master. We got to get Big Ramp on here. I got to get Big Ramp eventually on here. We got to work something out. But yes, like this is innovative for like bands. You always go through like the face paints and stuff, but like they're completely covering themselves up. Like they don't want to be known, like apparently what they look like or anything. Like you don't know what's up under there, and it's intriguing.
Yeah, like at least their singer's whole thing is like he enjoys the idea of like just making the music for like the sole purpose, like the love of the game, of just like he just wants to make really good music that people resonate with. Um, and like the song Caramel that I put at number one, basically touches on that because like um, fan bases in music can be very toxic, and there's a very big like part of their fan base that's obsessed with like figuring out who they are, and trying to basically get like their personal information and all that stuff leaked. So that song Caramel is kind of like I don't want to say like a middle finger, but it's like hey, we're literally just doing this for the love of the game, and like if you guys can't accept that, then sorry, but it is like we are who we are. Which is crazy because I feel that way about wrestling a lot.
Yeah, we got. I mean, there is some toxic stuff out there, but with that, like even with holding their identities back, not letting anything be known at all. That's what's funny about that is that that's entertainment that
Yeah,
that draws interest, so that sells.
yeah. People are
And so
drawn
I mean,
to mysterious things, the unknown, like things that
and this dude
they
must
want.
not be like fame craved, because if he was fame craved, he would want his face out there. So he is enjoying not being noticed. So that is
Yeah,
somebody that really does love the game. But
yeah.
Braxton, what I want to get into now is something that I've done, you've done it, and it's not an
Yeah, you are.
easy job.
You are supposed to tell
Run a
them.
promotion, baby. Run a
Oh
promotion.
man. Uh, yeah, yeah. It is. I don't wish it on my worst enemy. So you're
Mm.
welcome, Wes. You never have to run a promotion. Um,
Oh, Wes.
yeah, man. That is. It is.
What? All right. So we all get knocked in the head, and we decide, hey, we want to run a wrestling promotion. What really brought you to bring pro wrestling movement? I know it had a lot to do with you wanting to bring wrestling to your hometown, kind of deal, right?
Yeah. Um, mainly, yeah, wanting to bring wrestling, or by that point, keep wrestling in my hometown
Yeah.
because we had started running some Elevate shows out there, which I would kind of on the promoting side of things. I was kind of, me and my mom would help out a lot. We would do majority of that stuff, and then they would just come in and book the cards basically. So already being kind of in the rhythm of doing it and getting these shows put on and like drawing in really good crowds for this area. Um, I didn't want it to all get taken away just because I decided to leave this promotion. So we just kind of opened up movement, and at the time I was 3 years in, I was not ready to be a promoter, definitely not ready to be a booker, but had a good team behind us. And yeah, we just kind of made it work. And we had our first show, and we had a crazy like turnout as far as fans. The show was really good up until the final pinfall. Uh, and then the subsequential pipe bomb that came after that luckily no one has ever seen unless somebody has a video of it that I don't know about. Um, and yeah, we had some momentum behind us off of that first show. And our second show was in the books, ready to go, uh, March 14th, 2020. And what day did everything close down?
March 20th, 2020.
Yep, they said not happening. So it straight up took a worldwide pandemic to stop me from running my second show. Movement was so crazy on night one. The world said, not on my watch.
And the crazy thing about that was like, the pandemic hits, and it was like things were slowly shutting down, but like in Louisiana, it wasn't slowly. It
It
completely
was.
just shut down.
Yep. It was like the Wednesday or Thursday before the show, so like I'm still talking with talent, like, hey, we're still good to go. 30 minutes passed. Never mind, show's canceled. It was that quick. But we kind of did what we had to do. Took a hiatus through COVID, um, which was crazy. I've never stopped wrestling during COVID. Like I just kind of wrestled all the way through somehow. Um,
Well, I was in the middle of it too. Like,
yeah,
we were doing shows in front of nobody, just filming stuff.
yeah.
And
And then
then it would be 10 fans, 25 fans kind of deal.
Battlezone would do their little
Speakeasy.
secret. Those shows. So those kind of
Yeah,
kept
up
me
in the
sane.
firehouse.
Yeah.
We'd have 25
Yes.
people in the firehouse.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember one night, I think one of the matches was you and Wes Warren. I can't remember. Gosh, damn, if Joey was in here, he'd let me know. But it was like, what was it? The damn
There was this
was it?
crazy storyline where I won the
Yeah,
junior heavyweight belt and I had it for a while, and then I
lose it to
lost it to
Nightmare.
Nightmare,
Yeah,
only to turn and join his faction after he wins the heavyweight, and
I think we lost Braxton. I think we lost you there for a second. But as soon as he turned heavyweight,
he just gave me the junior belt
yeah,
back.
exactly. I was like, yeah,
I was like, yeah, that's
the
what
whole deal.
it's an official win.
What? Also, do you remember? I think you were there that night too when Ursa Majors was there, and he went out to be a baby face on Nightmare, and they booed him. I can't
Yeah,
remember if
yeah,
it so yeah. I can't. Man, that was back in the day. And Balzone was running. That was when it was like you could have 25 people, and Balzone put 25 people in there. And then
absolutely.
we had Widow Fest there that year because this was all at the Braxton Fire Department in Braxton, Mississippi, with Braxton
That's
Hunter
why.
on there.
That's why I was
But
so over. I should have been the top. I should have been the top guy. I'm just saying. Just saying.
but
Missed opportunity.
do you remember that firehouse had no air, and then in the locker room there was a fire truck and no lights. Remember that? We were in the dark in
Ye- yes, they had like those little whatchamacallit, those little like plug-in lights, kind of lighting
there.
up the ring. There was like a tarp separating the locker room from like where we'd wrestle.
Yeah.
Ted DiBiase showed up one night,
Yep.
and
He was outside.
I distinctly remember my grandmother who she had passed away not long or before that show. Um, didn't know much of anything about wrestling, but when they back in the day, Mid South and all that come around here, she was a huge uh, Ted DiBiase mark for all the wrong reasons. Um, but I went up to Ted and was like, "Hey man, it took because I don't know why I was like, man, I just want to tell him this. Like I know he's very like religious and all that, and my grandma was very religious. So like I don't know why I made that connection between them, but I was like, I just wanted to tell him. So I go and I'm like, hey Ted, like great to meet you, sir. I just wanted to let you know, like my grandma was always a huge fan of yours. Um, and she recently passed away. Um, so just wanted to like see if you can offer me any words or anything like that. And he just goes, "All right, kid. Well, thank you." And then he just walked off. I was like, "Yo, what? What just happened?" Just walked away. I was like,
Well, I
all
got
right,
that
man."
too. I got two funny stories about Ted DiBiase. The first one was that night. Like I was told, hey, go out there and see if he's out there yet. And I go out and I see him pull up, and he gets out and he looks and he goes, hey, this is the wrestling show, right? I said, yeah, come on. I'll let him in. I'll tell you another funny story was when I was growing up, I was probably about 20 or 21. This girl that was really good, I was really good friends with her. And she, like, that was what we were friends. It was nothing else. She comes up to me and she goes, you like wrestling a lot, right? And I said, yeah. She's like, well, you know who one of my best friends is? I said, who? She said, Ted DiBiase Jr. I said, get the hell out. I said, Ted DiBiase Jr. is your friend. I grew up with him.
It's your friend.
I was like, she's like, I grew up with him. I really did. I was like, really? I said, how can you prove this? She's like, I'll take you to his house right now. And we drove to Clinton, Mississippi, pulled in the yard, knocked on. Oh my gosh, here comes Ted Jr. Here's Brett. Here's the whole family. Here's Ted.
No way.
Everybody. And yeah, she was friends with him, and that was her best friend. And as far as I know, still to this day, they're really good friends. So I
That's
met
awesome.
Ted DiBiase when I was about 18, 17, or 18 years old that way. So wow.
That's awesome.
I mean,
Telling
she
me-
literally, she was like, I can go to his house right now. I'm like, yeah, right. She's like, get in the car. We got in the car, drove there. And I mean, we're talking an hour to get to that house. Get there. I'm like, I said, this girl is lying to me. And we pull up, and as soon as we do, Ted's like hugs her. Junior's like hugs her, and I was like, oh yeah, blah blah. I was like, she wasn't lying.
What?
I was like in heaven. I mean, I was like in heaven at that point.
Yeah, dude,
yeah.
that was awesome.
Mid-South was amazing. It really was. Now Braxton don't know.
Man,
Braxton was
all-
born in like 2004 or 5. somewhere
All
around
the Mid South shows I went to were crazy. Like, I can't even tell you how awesome it was back. Like, I was born in '97, by the way. Let's not get too crazy, all right? Jace was born after 9/11. Let's keep the age heat on him.
there. Yeah. Well, yeah, he was born after 9/11.
He was born after 9/11. Yeah. He doesn't know how different things were before. Like, we know,
Yeah,
and he'll never get it. So
dude.
it's on him.
Like he hasn't seen a. I don't know. He hasn't seen like something bad happen to the U.S. yet, but
Let's hope he doesn't have to.
not either. But
He's the
yeah.
worst thing to happen to the U.S. since he's been
Yeah.
alive.
But man, like, dang, I look back at it, I'm like, kids that are in wrestling now, and some of them, they like you said, they've never experienced. Most of them haven't even experienced Katrina. They didn't even know what Katrina was like. They probably hadn't even experienced a real hurricane yet. Like, no natural disasters.
Nothing, no, just. That's why they're so soft.
Oh, very soft. They're very soft. I know too many that are soft and entitled and privileged and all that, but not get it. So, Braxton, what's your next show up?
My next show up be July 12th, Louisiana Wrestling Alliance at the Epic Entertainment Center in the Pit. I'll be wrestling Ryan Awesome. So he
is awesome.
Ryan Awesome. He I've been around him for years. Since he started training, but never have we had a one-on-one match.
What was your thoughts on Ryan? Well, you getting a one-on-one match with Ryan Awesome, bringing up Ryan Awesome. What's your thoughts on Ryan Awesome's mentor, Mr. Matthews?
Christmas onesie. Next question.
All right, we're gonna do some more word associations. I want to get to.
Okay.
Next up, Let's go. Let me get a name here. Uh, Vladimir Koloff. We'll go him first.
Mm, elbow.
Yeah.
Explanation. He literally knocked me out by elbowing me in the back of the head like twice.
Was that a concussion?
It's probably.
All right, so we passed concussions. All right, number 3, Simon Phillips.
Fairy. You know how like fairies are like they got like that arch in their back and they fly.
Number 4, T Gaines.
Goddess.
Goddess. I like that. All right, Willie Buck wants to know if you've ever wrestled against Jesse the Dragonheart. I'm guessing not yet, but I think this kid would be a real good opponent for you. I think you two could tear the house down.
Yeah, no, we hadn't yet, but I've been on some shows with him. I've met him a couple times and seen some of his stuff. He looks really really talented up and coming.
All
I'm
right,
down to be down to get the rib.
well, no doubt the kid's got, he's got he's got a lot of potential, but the kid has just got one of those things like he's got that work ethic and
Yeah,
he's really putting in the time. And I can see that, like you see kids that are coming in, they think they're badasses, they're doing this, they're doing that. And he comes in and he wants to learn. And he's putting in the work too. So I give
yeah,
him props on that.
he definitely strikes me as like the couple times I've met him. Yeah, he looks good. He has a good attitude about him. His work looks clean. Like he looks like he's on the right track, 100%.
All right. Before we get out of here, let's go ahead and do this. I'm gonna give you the floor. If you want to plug any social media, you want to plug T Gain stuff. The floor is yours, man. Well,
Yeah,
oh wait,
absolutely.
retro. Hold on, retro maniacs in here. What's up, folks? Well, retro was
Whatever.
on here last night, tearing it up.
Whatever. Yeah. So social media, Braxton Hunter PR on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I don't do the whole Twitter thing or anything like that. Check out my YouTube channel. I'm not the best at uploading content to my YouTube channel, but I try fairly hard. Um, T Gains, obviously T Gains or T underscore Gains on Instagram, T Gains on Facebook. And check out our new YouTube channel, Team Measure Up. We're going to be throwing up like some vlogs on there. Start doing a couple of vlogs, throwing up matches, kind of TikToks, plenty of things we do on there. Um, and yeah, while we're at it, like follow Louisiana Wrestling Alliance, the LWA. We've got a lot of good stuff going on here. A lot of real good students that are coming through the system, and the shows they've been great. All the shows they've had thus far at the Pit, the Epic Entertainment Center, have been sellouts. Our biggest show of the year, the Cajun Dome Convention Center, we had like 700-800 strong in there, and we did the thing. So things are definitely on the rise over here. So you definitely want to be a part of it.
And that's awesome. Have you, Matt Clark, one of our favorites? Have you been on the card with Jacob Walker?
A card, no, but I've met and hung out with Jacob a good bit, and he's really good. He's one of the guys like every time he and I see each other, or anytime like we talk on social media or anything like that, I'm like, hey, this singles match, like, it's got to happen at some point.
Warden Moss, I know this guy. Willie Buck wants to know when you and T Gaines are going to go back to Combat Sports Pro.
Look, whenever the phone rings, we'll be there. Technically, we're the number one contenders for the Combat Sports Pro Tag Team Championships. We just didn't get the call. Like, how you not gonna call your number one contenders to come and get their belts? You know.
Hey, gotta give him a call. But well, Braxton, man, thank you for joining me here. Is there a possibility we get T Gaines on the podcast?
I mean, never say never.
Never say never.
I think she would be down, but I don't know.
Will you put a good word in for us?
I'll see what I can do. I'll run it up the old.
Give me the little rub. Give me a little rub.
Yeah. Say, but babe, he's a really good guy. He asks really good questions. Like, you can talk about me, how I talked about you. We can gross everyone out with our love for each other. Come on.
Yeah, because we've been on for 91 minutes, and that's all we've talked about is T Gaines for 91 minutes.
Pretty much.
So, I mean,
I don't really have anything else to talk about. What else have I got going on?
But man, Braxton, thank you for joining us. Hope you have a good night, man, and hope to have you back on soon. Well, we got one more question. Book it. All right, we're gonna book it. We're gonna have it booked. We're gonna book it. We won't mention the oatmeal cream. Yeah, we don't need to mention that. But anyway.
Hey, easy.
Cut that down. Mama bought by bought by Hanson.
What?
Boom bop, baby, boom bop.
Anytime I've ever heard that song,
it goes.
Against my will. I don't know.
You know, my sister loved the Hansons when they first came out, and that was like 30-something years ago.
There are more of them?
There's 3.
Multiple? Wow,
Multiple.
That's 3 too many.
Yeah, that's way too many. But thank you, Braxton, for coming on, brother. We'll have to do it again. You have a good night. And
Absolutely.
And everybody that is always, brother, anytime. Man, thank you for joining us right here on the British Show. Appreciate you coming in, and we'll see you tomorrow night. Remember, subscribe to us on Facebook. It's only 99 cents a month, less than $12 a year. You get a chance to win free merchandise. I want to thank Braxton as always, and we'll see you tomorrow night with Tommy Wetgin. Tommy Wetgin will be on the podcast tomorrow night, guaranteed. So y'all have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow night with Tommy Wetgin.
Lights blaze bright, it's a glorious sight. The champ of the mic owns the night. With a mind so slick and a suit so clean, he's running this ring like a wrestling machine. From gold-plated deals to jaw-dropping schemes, he's the mastermind of your wildest dreams. Stand up, take note, bow down if you can. It's the Brilliant Show with the Brilliant One.